The invitation sat on my desk like a ticking bomb, its cream-colored envelope mocking me with elegant gold lettering. Celebrating Beckett's recovery. I wanted to tear it into 1,000 pieces, but my hands were shaking too much. My name is Kylie, and 3 months ago I had $87,132 in my college fund. Today I have exactly $0 and a family who thinks I should be happy about it. You're not still upset about this, are you? Mom stood in my doorway, wringing her hands like she always does when she's nervous. Honey, he could have died. I kept staring at the invitation, remembering all those weekends I spent working at the coffee shop, every birthday check from Grandma, every summer job since I was 15. You could have asked me first, I whispered. There wasn't time. The hospital needed. Don't. I spun around in my chair. Don't tell me there wasn't time. You had 3 days while he was stable before they needed payment. 3 days, Mom. She stepped into my room, her eyes landing on the art supplies scattered across my desk. The acceptance letter from the Art Institute of Chicago was still pinned to my bulletin board, though it didn't matter anymore. I couldn't afford to go. Your cousin needed emergency surgery. What were we supposed to do? Maybe ask his own parents, or take out a loan, or, I don't know, talk to me about using my entire future? The doorbell rang, saving Mom from responding. Moments later, I heard Natalia's voice downstairs, followed by her familiar footsteps bounding up to my room. "Hey, Mrs. V," she said, squeezing past my mother. "Mind if I steal Kylie for a bit?" Mom retreated, and Natalia closed the door behind her. "You look like hell." "Thanks, really needed that today. Saw Beckett at the grocery store," she said, flopping onto my bed. "He's looking good, almost like he didn't just steal your entire college fund." I threw a pencil at her. "Not helping." "You know what's really messed up?" Natalia sat up, her expression serious. "He doesn't even know. I heard him talking about how grateful he is for family support during his recovery, but he has no idea it was your money." That hit me like a punch to the gut. "What?" "Yeah, he was telling everyone how his aunt and uncle helped cover the bills. Your parents never told him where the money actually came from." I grabbed my phone, pulling up the photos from last Christmas. There was Beckett, arm around my shoulders, both of us laughing as I showed him my portfolio. He'd been so excited about my art school plans. "They're throwing him a party," I said, holding up the invitation. "A celebration of his miraculous recovery, paid for with my dreams. Are you going?" "Haven't decided." I turned back to my desk, where my latest artwork sat unfinished. It was supposed to be my submission piece for a scholarship, but I'd lost motivation halfway through. My phone buzzed with a text from Dad. "Don't forget to RSVP for Saturday. Beckett's asking if you're coming." Natalia read the message over my shoulder. "You know what would be wild? If everyone knew the truth." "What do you mean?" "I mean, they're all celebrating like heroes while you're sitting here with your future in pieces. Maybe it's time people knew what really happened." I thought about Beckett's girlfriend, Zaylee, posting those thankful messages about family support, about my relatives sharing prayer circle updates during his recovery, about my parents accepting praise for their generosity. "I couldn't," I said, but even as the words left my mouth, something shifted inside me. "Why not? You're an artist, right? Words can be art, too. Tell your story. Make them feel what you're feeling." My hand moved to my laptop, opening a blank document. The cursor blinked at me, waiting. "It would destroy them," I said quietly. "They destroyed your dreams first." Natalia picked up the invitation, turning it over in her hands. "Sometimes the truth hurts." I started typing, the words flowing faster than I could think them through. "Dear family, you're all gathering this Saturday to celebrate a miracle, but there's something you should know about the price of that miracle." "Holy shit," Natalia breathed, reading over my shoulder. "Are you really going to do this?" I paused, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. The party was in 3 days. Everyone would be there: aunts, uncles, cousins, family friends, all of them ready to celebrate while my college acceptance letter gathered dust. Maybe it's time for my own miracle, I said, and kept typing. The cursor blinked, waiting for more words, more truth. Outside my window, the sun was setting, painting my room in shades of gold, the same color as that damn invitation. I looked at my art supplies, at my empty bank account statement, at the family photos on my wall. Sometimes karma needs a little push. The smell of Mom's enchiladas usually made everything better, but tonight it just turned my stomach. I pushed the food around my plate, watching my parents exchange worried glances across the dining table. I talked to the community college today, Dad said, breaking the silence. They have some great art programs and— Stop! I set my fork down with a clank. Just stop. Kylie, we're trying to help, Mom pleaded. There are other options. Other options? I laughed, but it came out harsh and bitter. Like what? Starting over from zero while watching Beckett celebrate his recovery with my money? Dad's face reddened. That's not fair. He's family. And what am I? I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. Because last time I checked, I was your daughter. But I guess that means less than being the cool aunt and uncle who saved the day. Sit down. Dad's voice hardened. We're not done discussing this. Oh, now you want to discuss things? That's rich. I pulled out my phone, showing them the latest Facebook post from Aunt Maria. Look at this. So grateful for my amazing brother and sister-in-law who helped save my son. The comments are full of people calling you saints. Mom reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Honey, please understand. Did you even consider telling them the truth? I demanded. Or were you too busy enjoying all the praise? It wasn't like that, Dad protested. We were protecting you. Protecting me? From what? From the family thinking you're selfish. The words burst from Mom like she'd been holding them back for weeks. If everyone knew you refused to help Beckett— Refused? My voice cracked. I never got the chance to refuse or agree because you never asked me. The doorbell rang, making us all jump. Through the window, I saw Gareth's car in our driveway. Great. Just what we needed. An audience. Dad went to answer the door while Mom and I stayed locked in our standoff. Hey, sorry to interrupt, Gareth's voice carried from the hallway. Left my jacket here yesterday. He appeared in the dining room doorway, taking in the scene, the untouched food, Mom's tears, my clenched fists. I should go, he said quickly. No, stay, I said, surprising myself. Maybe you can help explain something to my parents. You're objective, right? Kylie, don't, Mom warned. If someone took your life savings without asking, I pressed on, and then expected you to celebrate with them, would you just smile and pretend everything's fine? Gareth looked uncomfortable, but he didn't back down. Actually, I heard about what happened. From Zaylee. That stopped me cold. What? She mentioned the college fund thing yesterday. Said Beckett's been trying to figure out how to talk to you about it. He knows? Mom's voice was barely a whisper. Found out last week, Gareth confirmed. He's pretty torn up about it. Good, I spat. He should be. Kylie, Dad started. No, I slammed my hand on the table, making the plates rattle. You don't get to make me feel guilty about this. You're the ones who should feel guilty. You stole my future and gave it to someone else without even telling them where it came from. We didn't steal, Mom began. What would you call it then? I pulled out my phone again, this time opening my banking app. Want to see the withdrawal notification? The one that came while I was at work. Or how about we look at my art school acceptance letter again? There will be other opportunities, Dad said weakly. Like community college? I laughed again, that same horrible sound. While Beckett gets to keep his job, his apartment, his life, all paid for with my sacrifice, Gareth cleared his throat. Maybe I should tell them what Zaley said, I demanded. Tell them how Beckett really feels, knowing what they did. Gareth hesitated, looking between my parents. He said he would have refused if he'd known. Said he'd rather have the debt than know his cousin lost her dreams because of him. Mom started crying harder. Dad just stood there, looking old and defeated. I'm going to Natalia's, I announced, grabbing my keys. Don't wait up. Kylie, please, Mom called after me. We can figure this out as a family. I stopped at the door, turning back one last time. Family doesn't steal from family, and they definitely don't throw a party to celebrate it. As I drove away, my phone lit up with a text from Natalia. Did you finish the letter? I thought about the document sitting on my laptop, full of raw truth and pain. Almost, I typed back. Just need to decide how to end it. The answer came quickly. End it with the truth. All of it. Let karma do the rest. Read it again, Natalia said, sprawled across her bedroom floor. We'd been at this for hours, tweaking every word of my letter. Dear family, I began, then stopped. Maybe I should make it Dear Everyone instead, since we're posting it online? Keep it as family, makes it more personal, more brutal. Natalia sat up, grabbing a bag of chips. Keep going. I cleared my throat and continued reading. While you're all celebrating this Saturday, I thought you should know the real cost of this miracle. That college fund you've been praising my parents about? It wasn't theirs to give. It was mine. Every dollar I saved since I was 15, gone without my knowledge or consent. My phone buzzed. Another text from Beckett. The fifth one today. I ignored it. The part about the art school acceptance is really good, Natalia said. Read that again. Before I could, someone knocked on her bedroom door. Gareth poked his head in. Your mom let me in, he said. Thought I might find you here. I closed my laptop. If my parents sent you, they didn't. He sat down on Natalia's desk chair. But I did talk to Beckett. I don't want to hear it. You might. He pulled out his phone. He showed me something interesting, his insurance documents. Natalia sat up straighter. What about them? The surgery was covered, 80% of it anyway. Gareth looked at me. Your parents didn't need your entire fund. They could have taken out a loan for the remaining amount. The room went silent. My hands started shaking. Show me, I demanded. He handed over his phone. There it was in black and white. The insurance coverage, the remaining balance, everything. They didn't just take my dreams, I whispered. They took more than they even needed. Keep reading, Natalia urged, pointing at my laptop. I want to hear the rest. I opened it again, scrolling past the parts we'd already reviewed. I'm not writing this for sympathy or revenge. I'm writing this because the truth matters. Because while you're all celebrating how family comes together in times of need, remember that some family members didn't get a choice. Remember that your miracle came at the cost of someone else's future. Damn, Gareth whispered. Too much? I asked. No, he said. Not enough. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Zaley. Can we talk, please? Add the insurance info, Natalia said. Show them exactly how unnecessary this was. I started typing, but memories kept flooding back. Beckett teaching me to drive. Us sharing headphones on family road trips. Him defending my art when Uncle Rob said it wasn't a real career. I can't do this, I said, closing the laptop. Yes, you can, Natalia insisted. They need to know. But what if what? She stood up, pacing. What if they feel bad? Good. What if the family judges them? They should. What if it changes everything? I cut in. What if there's no coming back from this? Gareth leaned forward. Things already changed when they took your money. At least this way, it's on your terms. My phone lit up with a text from Mom. Please come home. We need to talk. You know what's funny? I said, opening my laptop again. I always thought Beckett was like my brother. Turns out he was just the favorite child, and he's not even their kid. I started typing again, adding the insurance information. The words flowed easier now, fueled by this new betrayal. So enjoy the party, I read aloud as I typed. Celebrate the miracle, but know that every smile, every congratulation, every moment of joy comes with a price tag, my price tag, and unlike all of you, I never got to choose if I was willing to pay it. Post it, Natalia said immediately. Wait, Gareth held up a hand. Are you sure, once this is out there? They should have thought about that before they stole from their own daughter. Natalia grabbed my laptop, finger hovering over the post button. Ready? I thought about my empty bank account, about my art supplies gathering dust, about the community college brochures Dad left on my bed. Do it! Natalia clicked post. For a moment, nothing happened. Then my phone started buzzing, text after text, notification after notification. It's spreading, Natalia whispered, watching the share count climb. Holy shit, it's really spreading. I picked up my phone, opening Beckett's last message. I never wanted this. I'm so sorry. Too late, I typed back. The truth's out now. Hope the party's worth it. Gareth stood up. Want me to drive you home? I shook my head, watching the comments pour in. No, I think I'll let karma do its work first. The post count hit 100 shares, then 500, then 1,000. The truth was finally out there, and there was no taking it back now. I hadn't expected the art community to be the ones who cared the most. But here I was, staring at my inbox flooded with messages from artists, gallery owners, and even a few professors from the Art Institute of Chicago. Look at this one, Natalia said, scrolling through my phone. As a gallery owner, I'm appalled by your story. Art shouldn't be sacrificed for family politics. DM me. We should talk about showcasing your work. My laptop pinged with another email notification. That's the third scholarship offer today, I mumbled, still in disbelief. The doorbell rang. I froze, but Natalia jumped up to check the window. It's Beckett, she whispered, and he looks terrible. I'm not here. Your car's in the driveway. He knows you're here. The doorbell rang again, more insistent this time. I could hear him calling my name. Kylie, please, we need to talk. Natalia squeezed my hand. Want me to tell him to leave? Before I could answer, my phone lit up with a new message from the Art Institute. Regarding your situation, emergency scholarship committee meeting tomorrow. The doorbell kept ringing. Fine, I snapped, storming downstairs. I yanked the door open. What? Beckett stood there, pale and shaking. His surgery scar was still visible above his collar. You could have told me. Like you told me about the insurance coverage? He flinched. I only found out about that yesterday, right before your post went viral. Convenient timing. Can I come in, please? I stepped aside, letting him enter. Natalia hovered at the top of the stairs, watching. I saw your portfolio online, he said quietly. The one you submitted to Chicago. It's amazing, Kylie. You really should be there right now. Yeah, well, someone's medical bills got in the way. I talked to my parents this morning. He sat heavily on the couch. They're mortified, said they offered to take out a loan, but Aunt Taya and Uncle Ian insisted on handling it themselves. My hands started shaking again. What? They never needed your money, not all of it anyway. He pulled out his phone, showing me texts from his parents. Mom and Dad had already figured out a payment plan with the hospital. Your parents just took over. The room started spinning. But they said there wasn't time, that it was an emergency. The emergency was the surgery, The payment plan came after. He looked up at me, eyes red. I would never have accepted if I'd known, Kylie. You have to believe that. My laptop pinged again upstairs. Another message, another opportunity born from my viral post. People are offering me scholarships, I said. Galleries want to show my work. All because I told the truth. Good. He stood up. You deserve it. All of it. The party's tomorrow. I know. I called it off. That stopped me. What? Can't exactly celebrate now, can I? He attempted a smile. Not when everyone knows the cost. Natalia came downstairs, her phone in hand. Kylie, you need to see this. Your post just got shared by that famous artist you follow, the one with millions of followers. My phone started buzzing non-stop. Messages, comments, shares. I have to go, Beckett said. But Kylie, I really am sorry, and I'm going to make this right. How? I don't know yet, but I will. He headed for the door, then paused. Check your email in an hour. My girlfriend's sister works for an art scholarship foundation. She wants to help. After he left, Natalia and I sat in silence, watching the notifications pour in. Holy shit, she finally said. Your revenge just turned into your big break. My phone rang, Mom calling for the 20th time today. I declined it. What are you going to do about tomorrow? Natalia asked. The party might be canceled, but people will still talk. Let them talk. I opened my laptop, clicking on the latest scholarship email. I'm done being the family secret. Your parents made their choice. I started filling out the scholarship application. Now I'm making mine. My phone buzzed with a text from Gareth. Just saw your story on the news. Local station wants to interview you. Then another from Zaylee. Beckett's telling everyone the truth. The whole family's imploding. And finally, one from Dad. We never meant to hurt you. Please, let us explain. I looked at Natalia. Think karma works this fast usually? She grinned. Only when it has help from viral social media posts. My laptop pinged again. Another gallery reaching out. Another opportunity rising from the ashes of my stolen dreams. Sometimes, I said, typing out a response, the best revenge is success. And for the first time since discovering my empty bank account, I felt something like hope. The house looked different now, with all the party decorations taken down. A few deflated balloons still littered the front yard, and a congratulations banner hung crookedly over the garage. I sat in my car, watching relatives arrive one by one, not for a celebration anymore, but for what Mom called an emergency family meeting. You don't have to go in, Natalia said from the passenger seat. You've made your point. My phone lit up with another message from the Art Institute. Scholarship confirmed. Please respond to accept. Actually, I said, grabbing my portfolio from the back seat, I think I do. We walked in without knocking. The living room was packed. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all talking in hushed voices that died the moment I entered. Mom and Dad sat on the couch, looking small and tired. Beckett stood by the window with Zaylee. Well, Uncle Rob broke the silence. Look who decided to air our dirty laundry to the whole world. Rob, Aunt Maria warned, but he continued. You couldn't handle this privately? Had to make us all look bad? I dropped my portfolio on the coffee table with a loud thud. Funny how you're more worried about looking bad than actually being bad. Kylie, Mom started, but I cut her off. No, let's talk about looking bad. I pulled out my phone, opening the viral post. Should I read the comments? The ones calling you thieves? Or maybe the ones praising Beckett's miraculous recovery while pointing out how you sacrificed your daughter's future for it? That's enough, Dad said. Is it? Because I just got offered a full scholarship. I turned to face everyone. Turns out, when you tell the truth about injustice, people actually want to help. Beckett stepped forward. Show them the portfolio, Kylie. I opened it, spreading my artwork across the coffee table: paintings, sketches, digital designs, everything that could have been developed at art school. "This is what you stole from me," I said quietly. "Not just money, but opportunity, growth, dreams." "We were trying to save a life," Mom whispered. "With a payment plan that already existed," I shot back. "Beckett told me everything. His parents had it handled, but you just had to play the heroes, didn't you?" Aunt Maria stood up. "We offered to take the loan. They insisted because they wanted the praise." I was shouting now, years of hurt pouring out. They wanted everyone to think they saved the day, and my future was just collateral damage. "That's not true," Dad protested. "Then why didn't you tell anyone where the money came from?" Zaylee spoke up, surprising everyone. "Why let everyone believe it was your money?" The room went quiet again. "I have something to say," Beckett announced. He pulled out an envelope. "This is a contract. I'm selling my car and my gaming setup. It's not enough to replace everything, but it's a start." "Beckett, no," I began. "Yes." He handed me the envelope. "And I'm taking that loan my parents originally planned on. Every penny is going to you." Mom started crying. Dad just stared at the floor. "The Art Institute wants me to start next semester," I said, my voice steady. "Thanks to the scholarship that came from telling the truth you all tried to hide." "So that's it?" Uncle Rob demanded. "You get your money back and we're just supposed to forget how you humiliated this family?" "No." I picked up my portfolio. "You're supposed to remember. Remember that actions have consequences. Remember that family means protecting everyone, not just the person you choose to save." Natalia squeezed my hand as more relatives started talking all at once, arguing about loyalty and privacy and family honor. "I have one more announcement," I said over the noise. "That gallery downtown, they're showing my work next month, all pieces about family, betrayal, and karma." I looked directly at my parents. "I hope you'll all come see what your choices inspired." "Kylie, please." Mom reached for me, but I stepped back. "The truth set me free," I said, "and it got me exactly where I needed to be. So thank you, all of you. This family taught me that sometimes the worst betrayals lead to the best opportunities." I turned to leave, but Beckett called after me. "Will you ever forgive us?" Looking back at my broken family, my crying mother, my defeated father, my angry relatives, I managed a small smile. "Ask me again when I graduate from art school." Walking out felt like breathing fresh air after being underwater. My phone buzzed with another message from the gallery owner. "Your story resonates with so many. Can't wait to show the world your art." "Ready to go?" Natalia asked as we got back in the car. I looked at the house one last time, at the crooked congratulations banner and the deflated balloons. "Yeah," I said. "I think I finally am." "Your story has over 1 million views now," Natalia announced, scrolling through her phone. "We were setting up my pieces at the gallery, preparing for tomorrow's opening night. The comments are wild. People are planning to fly in just to see your work." I stepped back from hanging my centerpiece, a large canvas depicting empty hands reaching for scattered dollar bills that transformed into origami birds taking flight. "Ms. Reynolds wants to see you," one of the gallery assistants called from the doorway. "In her office." I found the gallery owner reviewing some paperwork. She looked up as I entered, gesturing for me to sit. "We have a situation," she said, turning her laptop toward me. "Your family's been calling, repeatedly. They're demanding we cancel the show." My stomach dropped. "They can't do that." "Of course not. But," she hesitated, "they're threatening legal action. Something about defamation." "The truth isn't defamation." "I know, and we're still going forward." She smiled. "Actually, that's not why I called you in. This came for you." She handed me an envelope with an international postmark. Inside was a letter from one of the most prestigious art schools in Paris. They saw your story, Ms. Reynolds explained, and your portfolio. They're offering you a spot in their program, full scholarship, including living expenses. My hands started shaking. Paris? Sometimes karma works in mysterious ways. She winked, though I suspect viral social media posts help too. My phone buzzed, Beckett calling. Again, I declined it. Your family might try to show up tomorrow, she warned. Security's been briefed. Let them come, I said, clutching the Paris letter. Let them see exactly what their actions created. Back in the gallery, Natalia was talking to a reporter. Yeah, that's her, she said as I approached. The artist herself. Ms. Vasquez, the reporter turned to me, recorder in hand. Your story has sparked quite a debate about family obligations versus personal dreams. Any comment? Before I could answer, the gallery door chimed. Beckett walked in, followed by Zaley. We need to talk, he said, ignoring the reporter. It's important. I nodded to the reporter. Excuse me. We moved to a quiet corner, where my smallest piece hung, a simple sketch of a broken piggy bank with tears instead of coins spilling out. Mom and Dad are falling apart, Beckett said quietly. The whole family is taking sides. Some are calling them thieves, others are calling you ungrateful. It's getting ugly. Not my problem. They're talking about selling their house, Zaley added, to pay you back. That hit me hard. What? Your post didn't just go viral in the art world, Beckett explained. Local businesses are boycotting Dad's company. Mom's preschool lost students. Their reputation is destroyed. They destroyed my future first, I snapped, but my voice wavered. I know, but... He pulled out his phone, showing me a local news article. Is this what you wanted? The headline read, Local family faces community backlash after daughter's viral post exposes financial betrayal. I wanted the truth to come out, I said. Well, it's out, and it's doing more damage than anyone expected. He looked around at my artwork. You're getting everything you wanted, scholarships, gallery shows, opportunities. Maybe it's time to what? Forgive and forget? To show mercy, Zaley said softly, before there's nothing left to save. My phone buzzed again, Ms. Reynolds texting about tomorrow's opening. Then another message popped up from an unknown number. Your story inspired me to stand up to my own toxic family. Thank you. I can't take it back, I said finally, and I won't. We're not asking you to, Beckett replied, but maybe there's a way to move forward, all of us. I looked at my artwork surrounding us, each piece telling the story of betrayal, loss, and ultimately triumph. The Paris school wants me, I said suddenly. Full scholarship. Beckett's eyes widened. Paris? That's amazing. Yeah, it is. I turned to face him fully. Tell Mom and Dad to keep their house. Tell them I don't want their money anymore. I found my own way out. And the posts? The interviews? I touched the frame of my broken piggy bank sketch. The truth stays up, but maybe I can tell a different part of it now, about healing, about moving forward. Zaley squeezed my arm. That's all anyone can ask for. The gallery door chimed again. This time it was Gareth, carrying a large envelope. You're going to want to see this, he called out. Another offer just came in. This one's big. I looked at my cousin, at the art surrounding us, at the future unfolding in unexpected ways. Karma's not just about punishment, I said quietly. Sometimes it's about transformation, too. Beckett nodded, understanding. Go, see what karma brought you now. I walked toward Gareth, leaving my family drama captured in paint and canvas behind me, ready to see what the next chapter would bring. The gallery buzzed with voices and camera flashes. Every piece had a red sold sticker, and Ms. Reynolds couldn't stop smiling. But I kept staring at the two empty chairs in the front row, the seats I'd reserved for my parents. "They're not coming," Natalia said gently, handing me a glass of champagne. But look who did. Through the crowd, I spotted Beckett talking to a group of art critics. He was showing them something on his phone, probably the payment plan he'd set up to slowly repay my college fund. "Ready for your speech?" Ms. Reynolds appeared at my elbow. "The Paris school representatives are especially eager to hear from you." I nodded, gripping my note cards. As I made my way to the small podium, someone slipped in through the back door. Mom, then Dad. They stood awkwardly by the exit, looking lost among the art crowd. "Good evening," I began, my voice shaking slightly. "A month ago, I thought my dreams were over." The room fell silent. Cameras flashed. "But sometimes," I continued, "when one door closes, 100 others open. My art has always been about truth, raw, uncomfortable truth. And when I shared my truth with the world answered back." I saw Mom wiping her eyes, Dad holding her hand. "Today, I'm announcing that I'll be attending l'École des Beaux-Arts in Paris this fall. My entire education will be funded by their international scholarship program." Applause erupted. Someone whistled. Probably Natalia. "I'm also pleased to announce that 50% of tonight's proceeds will be donated to a new scholarship fund for artists facing financial hardship, because sometimes—" I paused, looking directly at my parents. "Sometimes healing means helping others avoid the pain you experienced." More applause. Mom took a step forward but stopped, uncertain. "And finally," I said, setting aside my cards, "I want to talk about family." The room got very quiet. My story went viral because it touched a nerve. The complex, messy reality of family obligations versus personal dreams. But while my art captures the pain of betrayal, it also shows something else: transformation. Beckett moved closer to the podium, nodding encouragingly. "My cousin taught me that true family means acknowledging mistakes and working to make them right. My parents—" My voice cracked. "My parents taught me that sometimes people make terrible decisions with good intentions. And I learned that while forgiveness doesn't erase the past, it can build a bridge to the future." Dad wrapped his arm around Mom's shoulders as she cried silently. "So, yes, this is a story about betrayal, but it's also a story about resilience, about finding strength in vulnerability, and about the unexpected ways karma works in our lives." After the applause died down and people returned to viewing the art, my parents finally approached. "We saw the article," Mom said quietly, "about us selling the house." "Don't," I replied. "I meant what I said about transformation. I don't need your money anymore." "We're so proud of you," Dad whispered, "even though we don't deserve to be." "Actually," Beckett interrupted, joining us with a folder in his hand, "I have something for all of us to sign." He opened it, revealing a legal document. "What's this?" I asked. "A formal agreement, my payment plan, Mom and Dad's house staying in their name, and—" He pulled out another paper. "A contract with that tech company that wants to turn your story into a documentary series." "What?" Mom gasped. "Turns out," Beckett smiled, "Kylie's art isn't the only thing people want to invest in. They want the whole story, betrayal, redemption, all of it. But they'll only do it if everyone agrees to participate." I stared at the contract. The number of zeros in the offered payment made my head spin. "Split 5 ways," Beckett continued. "You, me, your parents, and a portion for the scholarship fund you just announced." "I don't know," Mom started. "It's time," Dad cut in. "Time to tell the whole truth from all sides. We owe her that much." Ms. Reynolds appeared with a pen. "The Paris representatives want to meet you, Kylie, And there's a gallery owner from London asking about international showings. I looked at my family, broken but somehow healing, damaged but transforming. Then at my art on the walls, each piece telling part of our story. Okay, I said, taking the pen. Let's show the world what real family healing looks like. As we all signed, Natalia snapped a photo. For the documentary, she grinned. Later, standing among my sold-out show, watching my parents awkwardly but earnestly talking to art critics, seeing Beckett proudly explaining my work to potential investors, I realized something profound. Sometimes the greatest art comes from our deepest wounds. And sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't about destroying others. It's about rebuilding yourself into something stronger, something unstoppable. Karma had done its work, but not in the way I'd expected. It hadn't just brought justice, it had brought transformation for all of us. Ready? Natalia asked, adjusting my scarf against the Paris winter. We stood outside l'École des Beaux-Arts, where my latest exhibition was about to open. Almost. I checked my phone. A text from Beckett. Documentary crew is set up. Family's all here. Even Uncle Rob came around. The exhibition space looked perfect. Each wall told part of our story through my art, from the original broken piggy bank sketch to my newest piece, a massive canvas showing a family tree with roots made of golden light, branches intertwined with darkness and hope. They're ready for you, Miss Reynolds called from inside. She'd flown in specially for this show, along with half my family. I took one last look at my phone, at the latest comment on my viral post. Your story changed how I view family obligations. Thank you for showing us that healing is possible. Inside, camera crews set up their final shots for the documentary's closing segment. Mom and Dad stood by my centerpiece, a sculpture of hands releasing origami birds, each one carrying a different message: trust, betrayal, forgiveness, growth. This is extraordinary, Dad said as I approached. He wasn't talking about just the art. The scholarship fund helped 15 artists this semester, I told him. 3 of them are showing their work here tonight. Mom touched one of the origami birds. Is this one new? I don't remember it from before. Read it, I said softly. She carefully turned the paper bird, revealing the word family. Kylie? Beckett called from across the room. The dean wants to start soon, and Zaley says the live stream is ready for everyone back home. I watched the gallery fill with people. Art critics, students, family members who'd flown in, and those watching virtually. The documentary crew positioned their cameras. Before we begin, I announced, stepping to the center of the room, I want to share something. When I first posted about my family's betrayal, I thought I was ending a chapter. Instead, I was starting a whole new story. The cameras rolled as I continued. This exhibition isn't called betrayal or revenge or even justice. It's called transformation because that's what really happened to all of us. I gestured to the family tree painting. My parents transformed from people who thought they were saving one child to understanding they were hurting another. My cousin transformed from someone who benefited from my loss to becoming my strongest advocate for making things right. Beckett smiled, squeezing Zaley's hand. And I transformed too, from a victim to a voice, from lost dreams to new opportunities, from seeking revenge to finding purpose. Mom stepped forward suddenly. We have something to show you too. She nodded to Dad, who pulled out an envelope. What's this? I asked. Open it. Inside was a deed to a small storefront in our hometown. I don't understand. It's an art gallery, Dad explained. Your gallery, for when you're ready to come home sometimes, to help other artists tell their stories. We used the money we were going to spend paying you back, Mom added, since you wouldn't take it directly. The documentary crew zoomed in as I stared at the deed. The scholarship students can show there too. Beckett suggested. Make it a space for healing through art. Like you did, Natalia added. I looked around the room, at my art telling our story, at the family who broke me and then helped rebuild me, at the opportunities that grew from the ashes of betrayal. The gallery opens next month, Dad said, if you want it. On one condition, I replied, pulling out my latest sketch. This is the first piece to be displayed. They leaned in to look. It showed our family photo, the one from before everything happened, but reimagined. The figures were connected by golden threads, broken in places but mended with stronger, brighter lines. It's called Second Chances, I explained. Mom hugged me, then Dad, then Beckett. The cameras captured it all. Ready to open the doors? Ms. Reynolds asked. There's quite a crowd waiting. I looked at my family, at my art, at the life I'd built from broken dreams. Yes, I said. Let's show them what transformation really looks like. As the doors opened and people flooded in, I realized something. Karma hadn't just given me justice, it had given me purpose. And maybe that was the greatest transformation of all. The documentary crew filmed as I cut the ribbon, officially opening the exhibition. Behind me, my family stood united, transformed, ready to write our next chapter together. Not as victims and betrayers, but as people who learned that sometimes the deepest wounds can create the most beautiful art. And sometimes the longest journeys lead you exactly where you need to be, 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 where you need